Hey guys, this is Spark Plus Ultra here, and this is part 5 on what if Deku had sonic abilities, not water! And I hope you like this video and hope you subscribe.
Deku and Tails were walking down to school, to US, and Deku says, "Hey Tails, keep having these dreams." And Tails says, "What do you mean by dream? Kind?" And Deku thinks, "I only had 2 specific ones. Usually I dream dates and chili dog." And Tails then says, "Not surprising, but tell me." And then Deku tells him about the 3 things that he saw. When 2 were bright with white and gold, like color, and the 3rd one was dark, a unique feeling to it. And Tails said, I don't know what I could say about it, but it is very interesting here, Deku." And Deku says, "Alright, let's get to UA." And Tails says, "Don't you have a thing where you go to USJ on a bus?" And Deku says, "Yeah, right, let's get going." Both Deku and Tails run at fast speeds, but when they were getting to UA, there was a figure looking in a camera, and the figure left in a near basement, hidden from the world. The man was sitting in his chair and smirks, and then a little robot companion says, "Sir, I have found where they're going. To USJ, that little blue guy you were always annoyed about has finally found in one place." And the man with the gracious mustache, and then tussles with it a bit with his hands and says, "Now that's great, my little orbital bot. Cubebot, what are ya?" And Cubebot says, "Radio, partner, we found a way to use some technology on that little blue boy there." And the man says, Good. That little punk destroyed my creation around the world when I was a little kid. He even found my hiding place." Flashing back when Deku was a little kid, the man had a empire hidden around the world, one being Africa, Europe, US, Canada, all around the nation. But it was thwarted by that little pesky blue kid. And the man says, "That little punk, I'll make sure to be giving him what's more I oughta. How dare he destroy my machines and destroy my plans? I, Eggman, will make sure to get rid of that punk." And Orbital Bot said, "Shouldn't we use a way to put a harder odds against this Deku?" And Dr. Eggman said, "Don't worry about that, Orbital Bot. There's already a person I've seen hidden from the world." And Orbital Bot said, And Cubebot said, "Oh, you mean those guys that we seen on the video cameras before?" And Dr. Eggman says, "Don't shout it out loud." Orbital Bot, do you still have his AI chip voice modulator right one found? And Orbital Bot says, I'm still looking for it." And then Dr. Eggman said, "Let's see if you can get away from this kid." Laughing up with maniacal intent. And Eggman says, "Now, send in the bandits! And when he says that, Suku and all of the students were on the bus, and Suku was sitting on the seat and tapping on his foot with a quick pace, saying, come on, why isn't it going any faster? And Amy says, but Suku, this is how fast it normally goes. And all the students were looking at him like, he really loves going fast. And Suki says, oh, stop looking at me, you guys, but I can't help that, because I always want to keep going. You need to exert all that energy out. You can't help that with me. And Tails is already in the mechanic shop, so he can't join because he ain't in the grade. Then Amy says, but you really need to slow down sometimes. And Suki says, how could I? And Knuckles says, hey, maybe I should knock you out. Does that make your time even better? And then Suki says, no, Nux, it doesn't. Hey, Bakugo, can you just make some stupid look? And Bakugo says, what was that? And Suki says, there it is. You two look as dumb as I remember. Nux and Bakugo says, what was that? You blue fur ball? And Suki says, it's such good humor. And all the students have a good time. Then they made it to USJ and got off the bus. All of them got off the bus and go to USJ. And we're in USJ. They see Hero introduce herself. Greetings, my name is 13. And Suki then says, oh, I know you. I met you before one time. And 13 thinks, oh, you're the blue blur, I remember. Were you in the US for a second? And Suki says, and all the students were looking at Suki. What state were you in? And Suki says, oh, when I ran to US, my first stop was Maine, somewhere to Blue Hill. And Amy says, fitting for your name. And then 13 says, yeah, I was looking for him when he was basically run off when he was 6. And all the students were shocked. When he was 6? And then Suki says, yeah, I have a habit on doing that back then. And 13 says, I'm lucky that my quirk has an effect on you. And Suki says, oh yeah, your quirk really does have a number on me on that. And then he says, what's her quirk? And then 13 says, my quirk? Black hole. I can use my fingers to create black holes and suck anyone near. And Suki says, yeah, even then I still can't beat that. Still slower than that. And the 13 says, don't worry, you need to be careful, you know. And Suki says, I know. You told that to me beforehand when I was a little kid. And then 13 explains it to the others. But when she explains that quirks, even simple ones, are dangerous, there were villains coming out of the portal, a dark portal. And Suki says, oh, are you doing the villains already? And 13 says, no, they're real. And Suki says, wait, seriously? How? And Sawa leaps out and takes them down. All the villains, lower villains, down. And then there was Tomagiri. Greetings. We are the League of Villains. We're here to make arrangements. And then when was talking, Bakugo and Knuckles and Kirishima go into attack. Missed. And then Tomagiri says, no, you shall know the power of the League of Villains. And teleported all of the students, half of them, in different places. And Izuku was teleported, and Suki looks and sees water. Water? When falling, Suki screams out, "Water! Not water!" and splashes down. Suki was sinking down. Suki then tries to swim up, but he can't get up. "Somebody help!" thinking to himself. Then a villain then tries to attack Suki, saying, "Sorry, kid, but I need to do this." Sue then saves Zuko from the villain, and Suki got put on the boat thanks to Sue, and then Mana got put down on the boat as well, but felt because of, well, his Barbie nature on that. And then Zuko has a traumatizing thought. Water. Water. Why does it have to be water? And then Sue says, I didn't know you were that traumatized by water. And Mana says, "What the heck? I thought you were always used to going near it." And Suki says, "Oh, I'm fine being near water, like running on top of it. But swimming? Yeah, no. I am so petrified." And then Sue says, "Why are you so afraid, kiddo?" And then Suki explains a time that when he was at the beach, he swam, but when he was swimming, he had a seaweed stuck between his leg. And you can already know what this is. Deku cries on, feeling the fear of what he remembers. And Sue says, "Ooh, that's rough." Mana thinks, "Never thought you had fear this bad. It looks like you have hydrophobia, almost." And Izuki says, "I never wanted to go in a body of water." Deku and Sue and Mana were stuck on the boat with water. Then Amy was sent into the fire rescue area with Takamyami, and it was they were cooperating pretty well. And Nux and Bakugo and, well, Kirishima are in, well, the same place that Bakugo and Kirishima are. And Knuckles thinks, "Damn it! Where are these guys?" Bakugo says, "Shut up, you redhead. We're trying to get out of here." And Knuckles says, "What did you say, firecracker? You heard me." Both are arguing when two invisible threats were going to attack Bakugo and Nux. Knuckles and Bakugo's sharp senses felt their presence and both attacked them. These guys are nothing. Knuckles thinks, fighting in the dark is cowardly. You guys know that. And then Knuckles thinks, why do I have a feeling I have a deep threat of someone to do that to me? And Bakugo says, "Hey, are you coming? We're still gonna beat the living shit out of these guys. And the big guy as well." And Knuckles says, yeah. Kirishima also says, "Gee, you guys are relentless with these insults. But you are very cooperative and nice." And Knuckles says, "Who says I'm a bad guy?" And Kirishima says, "No one." "Oh, then maybe I should." And Bakugo says, "I do." And Knuckles says, "Hey!" And the three were trying to get out. Suku, having fear of water, trying to say, "Alright, I know your quirk is frog. Yours? Minetta? And Minetta says, oh, mine is Papa. These balls can stick on anything, but I can't stick onto them. And Ezekiel says, well, we're screwed. And Minetta says, didn't want to answer that anyway. And then Sue thinks, don't you have some equipment to have less fear of water? And Suki thinks, oh right, I forgot. Tails gave me equipment for this. Putting up his wrist and seeing his watch. When touching it, it creates a bubble for Suki. All right, let's do this. And Sue says, all right, now the plan. And all of them discuss. And Suki says, all right, you guys, hold on tight. Grabbing Sue and Minetta on his back and says, I'm going to be moving faster than the wind. And Minetta says, please, you're already fast enough to beat that. And Suki says, alright. Suki says, this, on my mark, ready? And Sue says, yep. And Minetta says, just don't make us throw up. And Suki says, I'll take that as a ready. But when they were getting ready, the villains were getting impatient. And the water villain uses his water park to slash down on the boat, trying to get them out. And Suki says, go! Well, he was slashing down the boat. Suki runs out of there, moving faster on the water. And Suki says, alright, now let's do this Sonic style. Suki runs around, making a whirlpool, then turning it into a tornado, sucking all the water up in the air. And all the villains were getting caught into the water tornado. And it says, now, throw your balls. And Minetta says, alright, take this, villains. Throwing his balls into the tornado. And all the villains were getting sticked up by Suki tornado with Minetta's balls. And it was a complete success. And when Suki made it to the land, Suki says, land, kissing on it. And Sue says, I might never have you in the pool again. And Minetta says, ditto. And Suki says, hey, I got trauma. Don't give me crap. When they were talking about that, then Zella was taking down each villain, one by one, each time. When he was about almost done with Small Fries, but then Shigaraki says, Nomu, get him. And the Nomu attacks and takes down Zella. And then Suki, Sue, and Minetta see that and were shocked to see it. Then when they were doing that, some unknown threat come down in the sky and says, why should I be in the party? Then some robots come down and attack low tier villains. And then Shigaraki looks. So it's you, Iso Robotnik. And then Dr. Eggman says, I see you haven't changed, Shigaraki. My, it's been a while. With such a cocky smirk to the genius doctor himself. And Shigaraki looks at him. I know you're not here to attack us for a reason. And then Dr. Eggman says, who says I don't have a reason? I don't care about you. what I care about is taking this blue blur down. And then Shigaraki was surprised to hearing about with Dr. Eggman. So, Robotnik, what's your deal? And Dr. Eggman says, well, if you get out of my way, I'll gladly show you mercy. And then Toma sees that the weak villains were not being taken down that easily. You're really that cocky, aren't you? Then Dr. Eggman says, smart mouth for a no-parent boy. And Shigaraki says, I'll make you pay for that. And then Dr. Eggman laughs. Bring it! I don't care on what your plan is. I'll take my plan into account. And I'll destroy yours. And that other guy that you call all for one. And then Shigaraki says, both having a stare down. And I says, do you know who that guy is? Why is he called Dr. Eggman? It's pretty funny, though. And Sue says, I haven't heard of him. And Deku says, why is he here? And Sue says, know him? And Deku says, yeah, when I was 7, I accidentally was going to Africa just to take a visit on seeing all the animals until I found a place that was hidden and I met him. I took down all his badniks, at least that's what it's called, and yeah, he has a sort of vendetta. And then it says, oh, so you're basically arch enemies. And Zuki says, sort of? We're arch enemies, yeah, but we tend to have a sort of agreement, per se. And I says, what type of agreement? And Zuki says, it's complicated. And then Dr. Eggman looks around. What is this? What is that thing? Is that your experiment you called Omu? And Shigaraki says, are you appreciating it? And Dr. Eggman says, no, not really. I'm not impressed. And then Shigaraki says, not surprised. Your ego is so high above your grade. And Dr. Eggman says, what was it? You insolent little brat! I was just holding back these army, but now you pulled another shot at me. Now you're gonna pay for that. Take this! Pulling out a massive chain ball Eggmobile and throwing it down onto Shigaraki. Shigaraki dodges and leaves. Shigaraki then touches the chained metal ball and says, why don't you decay this? But when Shigaraki touched this, he noticed. And Eggman says, you really thought I wouldn't expect that? My Shigaraki, my boy, you need to learn your lessons. Never outsmart me, Dr. Robotnik. Then, when the saw comes forth at Shigaraki, Nomu breaks it with one punch. And Eggman says, you are annoying as that blue blur. Alright, I'll go get my retreat for now. But I'm for sure gonna take that punk down and you as well. Don't disappoint me, Tomura. And then Dr. Eggman leaves, but not leaving his bad mix, because to him, the badniks are not much useful to him, and he can always create more. And then Nomu proceeds to still beat down Zawa, and Suku sees that. But when he was about to stop Nomu, Shigaraki is going to touch Sue, and Suku then interfered and kicks him away. Not this time! And Shigaraki says, "My, impressive. You were fast enough to react." And Suki then thinks, "I didn't even sneeze. Did he just surprise me?" And Shigaraki looks at Zawa. "Oh, Zawa, you're so cool." And seeing Zawa with the red erasure eye, and Suki realized that Zawa erased Shigaraki's quirk before he even touched Sue, which means when Suki remembers, no, then Suki says, "You were gonna kill her," and then Shigaraki says, "My, you guys are really annoying. I should finish this off now." But then Suki's aura turns black, and Shigaraki sees that. Huh? The heck? Nomu, take him out. Then the Nomu goes to take down Suki, but Suki then raises his hand, blocking the Nomu's punch, and the Nomu both were standing down on the ground. And Suki says, "Nobody hurts my friends," with dark aura around his body, and his hair turns to black with dark blue look to it. His eyes, pupils were gone, and Suki's negative emotions come forth for the first time. His form was Dark Sonic. And Suki punches the Nomu and sending him flying. "Nobody hurts my friends!" Moving at a faster than the eye can see. Even faster than that. Shigaraki can't even see most of it, but see a dark trace of what Suki made. And Suki says, "Take this!" Kicking the Nomu in the sky. And Suki flying higher. The Nomu was trying to punch Suki, but Suki dodges and counterattacks. And then Suki made it into the highest point of the sky and says, "Now you're gonna pay!" And then Suki raised up his attack. Dark Phoenix Kick! Slamming down on the Nomu with immense force. And 3 more of Suki appeared, creating clones, and both make speeds of clones out of nowhere, taking down the Nomu, destroying him in one bit, sending him to the ground. And Suki then was on the ground, says, "We're not done yet, Shigaraki." And Shigaraki felt that menacing aura. He destroyed that Nomu with a mere fracture of his power. Can't even. Then the heroes come and says, "Don't worry, because I am here." All Might was serious. And then Tomogiri says, "Shigaraki, the plan is going to be an issue. We need to retreat." And Shigaraki says, "No wonder the doctor wants to take him down. Fine." And with anger in his voice, "Suku Midoriya, I'll take you, get rid of you." And Suki says, "We're not done!" Ready to take down on Shigaraki. And Sue says, "Suki, stop!" And Suki stopped, and here's Sue. And Sue says, "It's okay, calm down." And Suki says, sorry, transforming into his form. And then all the villains were taken down and were in custody. Last one A has a break, and then Suku reflects. The dream wasn't wrong, the negative side. And Suku thinks and pauses for a second, trying to comprehend on what just happened. And when he was doing that, Dr. Eggman saw the video. I thought he would do this, but I never thought he would transform into something. This is amazing. Then Orbital Bot says, "My, sir, should we in a rush to defeat him?" And then Eggman says, No, we don't need to rush it that quickly. I need to figure out more. Where's the other bots? You mean Q? And Dr. Eggman says, No, it's not Cube. I know you're already binding the AI chip for him. And Orbital Bot says, Then what do you... And Dr. Eggman looks at him, and Orbital Bot says, Oh, those. They were... Then another voice appears. And Orbital Bot says, Yes, they're here as well. And then the voice of that sound says, My! You should have told us that boss won us, you ball of junk! And then the other voice says, Yeah! We should have been there from the beginning! This is just great! I love messing with this ball! And then Dr. Eggman says, They were my first minions, and they got destroyed by him. God, I hate that face. Alright, Scratch and Garanda and Coco, you need to surveillance on Suku Midoriya. Tell me his power. I already have some information, but I need more. And Scratch puts his head up and says, Yes, sir! Ooh, alright, boss! Coco says, Alright, we'll make that hedgehog boy regret facing you, boss! And Dr. Eggman says, Just go. And that's where I'm ending this video. I hope you liked this video and hope you subscribe.